Okay.
Heading to Sydney for the next of our isolation interviews, and we're hooking up with William Haggis's assistant trainer, and that is Harry Eustace. Harry, thanks for joining us. A couple of key runners on day 2 of the championships tomorrow. Let's first of all look at the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth, and indeed so good last time out. How's the horse progressed since then?
He's great, thank you. We're obviously delighted with his run, and the exciting thing was that it was always planned to run for the Queen Elizabeth, and we feel that's what he's done, both mentally and physically.
Okay, so the prospect of a rain-affected track, what is the latest in Sydney weather, and how does it affect your chances?
There's been a bit of light rain since about 6:30. That's here at Canterbury anyway, so I'm not 100% sure about Randwick, but I'm sure they got something, and it's just whether it's enough to really affect it. I would say at the moment, from what we've had here, it'll just maintain the soft 6. We'd need like another decent shower at least to maybe change that to a 7. But at least it's not bright sunshine and drying weather. So, I think it'll race pretty fair for everybody.
Absolutely. It's a really strong race, isn't it, with the emergence of Denim Premium from Australia. We've got our 2 New Zealand horses in there, Tiako Shark and Melody Bell, and a host of top Aussies as well. How does the Deed measure up for you in this one?
He's right there. He's obviously right there with a lot of the other horses. The top 5 or 6 are very exciting. And just off his win with Very Elegant, then coming out next start, being impressive, and that looking sort of a very solid form, against Avilius. And then obviously the Donny winner was behind us as well. Granted, sort of, it's a Group 1 handicap, it's a bit different, but they're obviously in good order. Both him and the horses in and around him. So he'll be there knocking on the door, and we'll just find out if we're good enough to poke ahead in front.
Yeah, can you compare his condition to going into his best wins? Yeah,
I mean he's as good as we've had him. We've got a similar sort of confidence to when he went into Royal Ascot. We were very, very confident with him now, I feel. He'd run sort of fair at Chester, but it had really knocked the edges off him and blown the cobwebs out. And I think that's what the Rambet's done to him. He came down with a little bit of a winter coat, and that's pretty much all gone. And he looks in great order. And I just hope he can run as well as he looks.
Okay, you've got the favourite as well in the Sydney Cup in the form of Young Rascal, and he was really impressive in that Manion Cup. Have you seen him progress out of that race?
Yeah, I mean he was in good shape going in, and he looked really well in his skin and his coat. But he's continued to thrive since the run, and being down here, his weight's really good, and he's trained excellent, and we're very excited to get him up in trip. It's been a long time coming. He was a bit stop-start back home, and we would probably have hoped he'd gone over this trip before coming down, but we wouldn't have been, if we weren't confident over the trip, we wouldn't have brought him down to target this race. So that's what we're really looking forward to seeing.
How positive will you be with the ride in the Cup?
Yeah, it's a lovely draw in that he can jump to be positive, and he's got a sort of couple of furlongs to the first bend. There's a couple there that might go forward, but I don't think, certainly there aren't as many runners as we expected necessarily, and I don't think there's an out-and-out sort of horse that will really force it from the front. So if we jump away and look to be positive, if nothing wants to go forward, that'll be fine. If something is keen to, then we can just take a sit, and it'll all be about rhythm and getting him into decent tempo with him, and then worrying about the sort of second half, last third of the race from there.
Okay, Harry, you're 2 runners in top class races and on a big day of racing in Australia. Just tell us if you had to put your tenner on which would it be?
Probably Young Rascal, but you could have a 5 on it if you wanted.
Sounds good to me. Really appreciate your time, Harry, and best of luck for tomorrow.
Thanks very much.